Hello and welcome, it's me, Miles44, welcome back to another Cardfight Vanguard deck profile. Today's deck profile, we have the updated, sort of updated deck profile of the Soulless OTT CoCo cookie thingy. Yeah, so, yeah, well, it's CoCo not Paprika, sorry, CoCo Parfait. That's what this version is. Now, I'm just gonna put this out there before you guys watch this video. And you might be wondering why this card's here. And why I don't have, you know, the new card. Because this is my main deck. And it also explains the reason why this is 2.5 of the deck and not 3. Just 3.0. The reason being is because I want to record all my, you know, deck profiles at moments of this deck because it's my main deck. I won't do that with any other deck, but this is an important deck to me. It was the deck I started off with, and it's the deck I still play to this day, and it's the deck I do really, really well with, and I just really enjoy playing and everything. So really, I'd like to just have all of my different versions of the deck with me. And that's why I'm doing a video of it. So you can watch it if you'd like to, but you know, if you want to see the stride version of the CoCo deck, which I will be doing right after this, it'll come out right after this deck profile does, a couple days after this deck profile, or a day after, something like that, a day or two. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing this deck. I explained it, and yeah, just because this deck means the CoCo Soulless OTT decks mean a lot to me. Like, I've done this, you know, I've been doing this since the beginning of Vanguard. This has been my deck. Once I started, I was looking for a deck, and this was the deck I found, and I've been using it ever since, and it's stuck with me, and I love it. So that's why I'm doing this. Now, this version was at the end of Limit Break that I did, once BT13 came out, once there was a lot of 10k beaters, and once there was, you know, once CoCo wasn't as good. This is the version I did for it, and it continued on through Legion until, you know, until G came out, because once G came out, there's an updated deck profile. So this is the deck I used at the end of Limit Break and throughout all of Legion. It's not amazing or anything, but it definitely kept the deck from falling behind too far because CoCo's 10k. So that this deck worked very, very well, and even though I didn't play the deck as much, it was still a lot of fun, and it's still my main deck, and I was still devoted to it. And yeah, the style was a lot of fun actually with Parfait. So anyways, let's get right into the deck profile. So our starter is Little Witch LuLu, no change. Probably gonna stay like that forever, honestly. Unless a better LuLu comes out, I don't see how it could change. And then for grade 3s, we have 4 Scarlet Witch CoCo. So you know your first ride or 2, rider once, maybe twice, and that's it. That's all your rider. But definitely your big boss cards. So you need 4 of them. 4 of her. And then we have 3 Battle Sister Parfait. So what she does is, what she does is Limit Break for during your turn. If the number of cards in your hand is 4 or more, it gets plus 3k, and auto Vanguard. When this unit attack hits Vanguard, you draw a card. So it puts on a lot of pressure with its Limit Break, making it hit if Gemini's behind it, or even if you have a 7k behind it, like Omelet. It'll be hitting 21 or 22k, which is really good. Of course, at the end of Limit Break, there were a lot of cross rides again, but with Legion, it worked really nicely. It was a little easier to do, to pressure with that. And then if you hit, you know, you get to draw a card, so it puts quite a bit of pressure on for that. And our other skill is you counterblast 2 cards with Battle Sister in its card name, and if the number of cards in your hand is 3 or less, you draw a card. So the normal Battle Sister thing where there's 3 or less cards in your hand, certain number of cards, whether it being 4 or more or 3 or less for certain things. But yeah, she just helps you finish up your counterblasts, like get any other pluses that you can get. So you do run a little bit more Battle Sisters in this deck, in this version of the deck, because of it. But she was basically just to help you out with getting pluses after CoCo. So like I'd ride into CoCo, and if I didn't have another CoCo to ride onto, I'd go into her. If I did, sometimes I would go into CoCo, but sometimes I would go into Parfait, depending on what my opponent has. If my opponent has too much pressure on me, I really need Parfait. If they don't, then I can do another CoCo. But you know, you can get some heal triggers and stuff, and then boom, you can use Parfait skill. So you might be able to use 3, or it's just going to be the 2. I mean, you might. Most of the time, I get CoCo and then Parfait, and I have to use Parfait skill twice. That was what I got most of the time. But there were times that I got to do 2 CoCo and then Parfait, and then I would get to use hers closer to the end of the game. But it's just really nice to keep your hand steady, keep your hand going, and just keep that Soulless OTT, you know, hand pressure, hand plus pressure and everything. So she definitely helps with that. She doesn't lower under any regard with that plus 3k and the drawing a card when you're, you know, really low in cards. Anyways, and our final card was Battle Sister Cookie, so we still ran that card. We just need 1 because she's to use that she's pretty much a final turn card if you're trying to end the game with an extra plus, or she can help keep your soul empty by using Cream, which is nice pressure for a rearguard column, because you know you don't really have a lot of power in rearguard columns other than Silent Tom, so she definitely helps you out by at least hitting a 21 mark, which is really it was very big, and it, honestly, it won me quite a few games in the rearguard circle. So most of the time I have it in rearguard, but there is that once in a while time I'll ride her as Vanguard, especially if I if I called Cream out behind my Vanguard earlier sometime because I just had nothing else. So it's a nice combo to hit like, what, 30k or something. Get you a lot of power for that final push when you know your opponent doesn't have perk guard or something. So yeah, pretty much that one card, just, you know, for extra rearguard pressure, and for a ride if you have to use up 1 final counterblast and to push for a final game. Pretty much what she's for. On to our grade 2s. We have 4 Battle Sister Tarte, so I'm not playing Wisdom for this version, and the only reason is, you know, Parfait has to counterblast Battle Sisters. So pretty much what you do with CoCo is normally opponent pushes you to 3 damage really early, like that's what they always try to do. So you normally use CoCo to, you always make sure to flip cards with CoCo or Cookie or whoever. You flip them face down to, you make sure not to flip down Battle Sister cards unless they're all Battle Sisters, because you save those for Parfait and then it works. So yeah, so 4 Tartes, 10Ks, always need those with this kind of deck. Make sure you don't get rushed. Perfect ride. Then we have 4 Battle Sister Mocha, so you know, 11k beaters, pretty standard too. Same thing as last time. And just as last time, grade 2 line is pretty similar, it's Tarte instead of Wise Man. And then we have 4 Silent Tom, so 4 of these bad boys, still putting on tons of pressure as they can, so that's the same from that lineup. It's pretty interesting looking back and how far it's changed though, honestly. And then we have 4 Battle Sisters Chocolat, so you know, perfect guards, 4 of those babies. Chocolat obviously because Battle Sister, and that's what I've always had, so whoever plays them, unless for the new one. But and then we have 4 Gemini, Oracle Guardian Gemini, your AKs, always important for Tom and CoCo, and just even beautiful behind Parfait as well. Hit 22 mark. MLB, where you at? And then we have 3 Battle Sister Omelet, so you know your 10k beaters. There's at that time they were, you know, they're still very helpful and just do what they have to do. And they're Battle Sisters as well, which is nice. So they were still in this deck. Yeah. 10k beaters. And then we have 2 Battle Sister Cream, so you know you need her with Cookie. You only play 2 of her because you only have 1 Cookie, but I pretty much always get Cookie. I never choose to ride on the Vanguard, except for really, really rarely, as I said. So you pretty much you always want a cream behind her. So that's why you play 2. And there's no reason to play anything else, so might as well just play 2 of these. It's not bad at all. It works perfectly fine. It worked really, really well. Like, of course, it was hard for CoCo in that meta, but it still worked out. Like, I struggled more, but I still had fun. It still came pretty close, and I won some games, and I was like, okay, wow, where I shouldn't be. And then our triggers, same lineup. We have 12 crit, 4 Psychic Bird, 4 Oracle Guardian Nike, and 4 Battle Sister Ginger, and then our 4 Lozenge Magus, Special Magus. So yeah, 12 crit, 4 heal, standard trigger lineup for this deck. Alright. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile. Oops. It's been so long since I've done a real life one. I do so many online ones because I just have no other way, right? So, yeah. Hope you guys liked the deck profile. Remember to let me know what you think. Remember, this was the past time, so like end of Limit Break and throughout all of Legion, it was CoCo's way of, you know, staying in the meta, but definitely not really seen much. But should we come back next video when we discuss what's in meta now? But anyways, this was what I did at that time. And yeah, that's what it. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos from me, on the left there are Let's Play videos, so you can go and check those out. And if you guys aren't up for that, on the right there are Cardfight Vanguard videos, so you can go and check that out. And if you're still not up for those, I have Super Smash Bros, Pokemon, and a Versus series on my channel, so you can go to my channel and check that out. Also, down below is my review channel, where I do reviews, countdowns, game chats, which is like a podcast, and more. And don't forget to check out my Twitter, Facebook, and Skype, all listed at the top there. That is all. Hope you guys enjoy.